Hey YouTube, it's Mike here, and I'm bringing you guys a video based on something that I've been asked by many people in a lot of my videos. Hey, what players do you recommend? You know, like what players should I get and stuff like that. So I decided to basically um, put up a team where of all the cards I've used this year so far, and which cards I believe were game changers for me. Of course, some of these cards may not be game changers for you. I know everybody has their own personal likes depending type of players that they want to play and formation they want to play with. The formation that I have right here just has nothing to do with the players at all. It's just for me to basically put 11 players. I did put actually Gullit on the bench because I feel like he's one of those game changers. I just don't feel like this card itself is that great based on the fact that he gets tired very, very quickly. If you look at his stamina, it says 78. This is the reason why I put him as a reserve, because I do enjoy this card a lot. I just feel like the 86 version does get tired, and that for me is something that is considered not a game changer. For me, cards that are game changers are cards that could play the whole 90 minutes. Okay, so we'll start off with the goalie. As you can see, you're already seeing the team, and of course I had to put De Gea because by playing with De Gea this year, I've never played with one of his informs besides the foot draft. And as I play the foot draft with him, I already like his regular card version, with basically his basic card. His inform is even at another level. This guy does some ridiculous saves that I just don't understand why anybody would want even a higher version of his card when I think the 92 itself is already an end game card. I just don't see the point of spending more coins on a better version of him. I think this card is good enough for end game. That's another thing when I talk about a lot of these cards are, I would say, already good enough for end game. Of course, you know, team of the season is coming out. There's going to be other cards that are going to come out. They're going to probably take some of these cards, but there's certain cards I think no matter what, I just don't see them. I feel like you could use them right away because they're already, for me, end game cards. We'll end up going with the defenders first, and we'll talk about Alexandra. So he's only got one upgrade this year, and it's this version here. I'm not even sure how much this one goes for. So it looks like he's going for like in the 200Ks, maybe 270, whatever it is. I don't see any other left backs that are that great, to be honest with you, and this is why I keep going back to Alexandra. I think he is probably the best left back in the game, besides maybe going for an icon like Roberto Carlos or whatever. I honestly don't see any other card that's worth buying besides Alexandra. Now, if there's a better version of him, I would assume it would be way better than this one. But this card here itself is already a game changer in a way of saying that you could use this card right now and you'll probably do as good as you know, like with a team of the season one, to be honest with you. I think team of the season one will be an upgrade for sure, but I mean, this is already end game type of card that everybody uses, and it works very well. Some of these cards are going to be cheaper, some of them of course are going to be more expensive. Let's go with Benattia. Believe it or not, I really enjoyed playing with this card. I mean, for the price this card is, you could get him for like in the 60Ks. It's a complete joke. Get this guy with a shadow, and I would say that this guy is actually a really solid defender. He's one of those guys that don't cost you much and will do the job better than pretty much any central backs I've seen in this game, and he's only an 87 in form. So if this guy gets a team of the season, I could just imagine being one hell of a card. But I approve that this card here itself is a game changer in my eyes of central backs. Of course, my favorite card for any defenders is Ferdinand. I don't think there's any card. There's people that say Maldini is better. I've tried Maldini. I did not like him. I tried the 92 version. I did not like him. I think Ferdinand is a way better card. I think he's the best central back in the game. I feel like if people ask me which icon I should make, I would refer you to do a Ferdinand with no questions asked. He is, for me, the best central back in the game. This is, remember guys, this is my personal opinion on cards, so some people may have different cards that they like. So I can't say this guy's name correctly at all. I'm gonna try. Varsalico, something like that. Anyways, um, throughout the year, I played a lot with like Valencia. I've tried Walker. I've tried a couple Serie A ones like Liechtensteiner, Florenzi. At the end of the day, when I've tried this card here, I would say that this one was for me a game changer in a way. I felt like he brought everything to the table. He also does have a three-star weak foot, so that's good. Believe it or not, he's got good pace. His strength is may look a bit on the low side, but I felt pretty strong with him. He is 6 feet, maybe that's why, I'm not sure. But overall, I really enjoyed this card. I think in the right backs, there's not that many great cards out there. So for me, a card like this that's actually not even expensive at all, like you could get him for like, like in the 40Ks, maybe even the 30s if you're lucky. For me, this is a game changer. For the amount of money that you're paying, I would say if anybody is looking for a right back and plays with, like, for example, I'm right, this is La Liga, or yeah, La Liga's, cards. I would say this guy here is probably the best choice you have in the game. Anyway, so let's go to the midfielders. Some of these, of course, I could use them as attackers, like for example Neymar and Mbappe. But it's kind of hard for me not to put Son and Ronaldo up there. So let's start off with actually Mbappe. Mbappe, either way, if you put him, there's a couple of versions of this guy, but I played with this version in particular, and I use him as striker. Okay, so what I do is I just sub him on right away, right off the bat in the first minute of gameplay. I feel like he's such a game changer as a striker. He's so OP, it's crazy. Having a 4-star weak foot with skill moves 4 stars. I don't really use skills, but his in-game stats are awesome. This guy with a hunter is just extremely amazing. He could play, like I said, the whole 90 minutes. He feels actually very, very strong. Even if it says only 76 strength, I actually feel some decent strength with him as a striker. I think this guy here is a game changer. As you can see, this card here doesn't really go for... What the hell? Why would it give me somebody else? That's weird. Anyways, I kind of, that's what do I want to see? Anyways, I bought him for like 190K. So I think that for the price that you're paying, I think this guy is actually a card that is very fun. I think he will give you a lot of good results. He's going to score definitely a lot of goals, especially as a striker. I haven't tried him as a cam, but as a striker, this card is a lot of fun to use. Now we'll go with Prime Del Piero. I've used all his cards, every single version, and the Prime one is the best one, of course, for me. Some people like the 87 version. I played over 100 games with that version. I like it, but it has not. You cannot compare it to the Prime. The Prime there's something about this card that I feel is the best cam in the game for me. I mean, I haven't tried any other card that tops this card when it comes to as a cam position. The reason why is the 5-star weak foot is one reason. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, this guy takes long shots and it seems to go in pretty much any time. If you take a good finesse shot, pretty much goes in any time. He seems to be able to last the whole game even with 82 stamina. He's a bit low on the strength side and stuff like that, but you know what? I don't know, the way he moves, he's so agile that it just doesn't make a difference. I feel like this guy for me is one of the biggest game changers I've used all year long, and I really enjoyed this card, and I would recommend it to anybody that wants to do this icon. Definitely worth it. You're not going to be disappointed. It's an end game card. You'll be using it even after Team of the Season. He's just that good. We went a little bit on the cheaper version over here with Erickson. I really enjoy Erickson. Of course, Erickson is also a 5-star weak foot. I feel like whenever you're playing with a cam or a CM, whatever, especially a cam, you want them to have 5-star weak foot. They're just so OP when they do. Being able to kick with any foot just makes a huge difference, and for me, that's a game changer. And of course, as you can see, he's got 90 stamina, so this guy lasts all game. Slap a hunter on this guy, and he is good to go. I mean, you get him for like 30K. Honestly, he's probably one of the best gold cards in the game that you could get for that kind of a price. He will score goals from pretty much anywhere. He's very good at like assisting. He just seems to be everywhere, especially up front. I really enjoy having this card. Now let's go with Neymar. I only played with Neymar throughout the draft. I got to play with him actually three times, 3 drafts, and every single draft that I played with him, this guy here is probably, I think, maybe the best card in the game. Maybe only Ronaldo tops him, and even at that point, I don't even know. I mean, I think he goes for like 500 something K. Yeah, 500 something K. He's got a 5-star weak foot. Again, I like cards that have 5-star weak foot. You'll notice a lot of my attackers have 5-star weak foot. His pace, his shooting, his positioning, even 81 stamina. He seems to last the whole game. He's super agile, the way he could turn on a dime. For me, I don't know, man. There's something about Neymar that makes him so great. Honestly, I think just getting this version here at 500k, I think that it's end game, and you don't really need his 99 version. I think this is already good enough. I think if you're looking for an end game card that's going to make a really big difference in your lineup, Neymar is definitely the card to go, especially for 500, whatever, 450k. I don't think you can get better than that for 500k. Honestly, this card is breathtaking. He's oh my god, on my top 2 list for best cards in this game. And I got to play with a lot of cards. I got to play with Ronaldo, even the R9. I've tried Maradona. I've tried a lot of cards. And let me tell you, Neymar is on top of most. I don't know why people like R9 better than Neymar, to be honest. I think Neymar, for me, is way better. I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. Again, we'll go with the strikers. And again, another guy that has a 5-star weak foot. Throughout the year, I went back to this guy a couple of times. I think Sun is just one of those cards. It doesn't really matter which version you get, besides as long as it's one of his informs. This guy's crazy. This guy scores over a goal per game for me every time I use them. You know, it's that 5-star weak foot. He's got pretty good strength. Even if it says 64, he feels way stronger than 64 strength. He definitely lasts the whole game. He's clinical. Like, he always finishes for me. He's one of those cards that just basically, whatever opportunity he gets, he seems to be always at the right place at the right time, and he seems to always finish. Like, he's just one of those guys that basically won me so many games that would be impossible for me not to put him there. And also, oh my god, right now you could get this guy for like 180k, maybe even 170 something. I honestly don't see why you wouldn't play with this guy. He's just amazing. And then again, we'll go with the final card, Ronaldo. So I ended up playing with this version itself, the 95 version. And this guy adds over almost 2.5 goal contribution for the amount of time I played with him. I played with him like about 60 games, so it wasn't a lot. But he had about 150 goal contribution in 60 games for me. I mean, that is just insane. That is not even normal. Okay, it's true when people say this guy is the best card in the game based on the fact that I don't know, man. I think that just by getting his regular version is already good enough. I just like this card because I used this. I didn't use his regular one, but I used this one, and I was completely shocked how good and how much this guy actually won individual games for me. He is very expensive. You know, he is still going for like over, you know, like 1.9 million. So of course, I mean, it's not everybody could afford cards like this, but I mean, if you can get even his regular version, honestly, from his regular version to his 99 version, I honestly don't think you'll be disappointed with his 93 version. His 93 version is a good enough card for you to play with until the end of FIFA 18, okay? You don't really need upgrades of Ronaldo. Ronaldo, basically, you just put a chem style on him and he is good to go. He's going to be one of those cards that's basically going to give you the best performance you've probably ever seen in this game. So if you don't have the money and you're able to afford better versions of him, why not? But honestly, I think just his regular version is good enough for him to basically win you many games, especially like weekend leagues and stuff like that. Like if you're trying to win the knockout tournament, if you're having a hard time, you know, getting into the weekend league, I honestly, if you have Neymar with Ronaldo and Mbappe and Son, for example, and Del Piero, whatever, all these guys up front, I honestly don't see you not being able to qualify. These are guys that will definitely give you that edge. Anyways, the video is a bit longer than I expected. These are my guys that I feel are game changers at the moment. Of course, as team of the season comes out, there will be other players that will, you know, top these players, or at least some of these players. But to be honest with you, if you have money to buy one or two of these cards and put them, like, implement them in your team, you will notice a huge difference in your gameplay, just based on the fact having, you know, like one or two or maybe even three of these guys in your team. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. The reason why I made it was based on the fact that a lot of people ask me which cards I like, or which cards I recommend, or is this guy better than this guy. So I figured I'm just gonna make a team and tell you which ones I like throughout the whole year until today. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I wish you guys a good day. See you guys in the next video. Bye bye.